So what if I told you there's an AI tool out there that could say, automate filing your taxes, or scrape the web for the best restaurants near you, or even build a 3D model, all from just a few simple text commands? Yeah, most people have absolutely no idea this thing exists. And here's the real kicker. You don't have to write a single line of code to use it.
Okay, let's really dive into this, because the best way to get it is with an analogy. Using a standard AI in your browser, that's kind of like talking to Tony Stark. He's a genius, for sure, but he's also limited. He forgets what you just talked about 5 minutes ago, and he definitely can't access any of your local files. But Claude Code? Well, that's the full Iron Man suit. It's got Jarvis built right in. It remembers everything, it can access all your files, and it can basically run your entire workshop for you.
Now, I totally get it. That word code can be pretty intimidating. I actually avoided this tool for months because I thought, hey, I'm not a technical person, this isn't for me. But then I found out the truth, and this is the key to the whole thing. You really don't need to be a developer to use it. At all.
So to get started, you do need a Claude Pro plan, which is about $20 a month. And, while there are a few different ways you can install it, the absolute easiest way to get going is just by downloading the official Claude desktop app. That's it. Simple as that.
And if you're still not quite convinced of its power, listen to this. This is a quote from an employee at Anthropic, the company that actually makes Claude. Their own team built an entirely new product in just 10 days, and they built it using Claude Code. Just think about that for a second. The very tool you're about to learn was used by its own creators to build another product, with the developers just sort of guiding the process. It's incredible.
So, how do we get behind the wheel of this supersuit? Well, it really just comes down to understanding two core concepts. Think of these as the blueprints to your brand new AI-powered armor.
First up, we've got something called skills. It's just like Iron Man's suit has all these different protocols, right? Like stealth mode for sneaking around, or the Hulkbuster for, heavy combat. Skills are basically pre-built playbooks that tell Claude exactly how to perform specific tasks. Need to create a spreadsheet? There's a skill for that. Need to analyze a PDF? Yep, there's a skill for that too.
And then you have agents. Now, if you remember the House Party protocol, where Tony Stark calls in this entire army of suits, that's his Iron Legion. Well, in Claude Code, agents are your personal Iron Legion. They're multiple AI assistants, and each one is specialized for a very specific mission.
So here's the crucial point, the main thing to remember. Skills are the protocols, they're the instructions. Agents are the actual suits that go out and execute those instructions. Or, to put it another way, a skill is like a recipe for summarize this document. An agent is the specialized chef you hire who knows how to follow that recipe perfectly every single time. If you remember that, you are ready to start building.
Okay, now that you've got the theory down, let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through how to build a fully automated AI content creation system, and we're just going to use a few simple commands to do it. Our little mission here has 3 phases. First, we're going to gather some intel by researching a topic. Second, we'll create a permanent memory for our project so it doesn't forget anything. And finally, we'll deploy a specialized agent to do all the heavy lifting for us.
Let's kick things off with research. Now, instead of opening up 10 different tabs and copy-pasting everything, you can just give Claude a simple, plain text request. It'll go out, scan multiple sources, pull out all the key information, organize it neatly, and save it directly to a file right on your computer. I mean, research that would normally take you hours is suddenly done in minutes. All right, so the research is done. But what if we want Claude to remember all of this for the entire project, without us having to constantly copy-paste context over and over again? That is where the next command comes in, /init. What that init command does is create a special file called claude.md. And this file, this is the key to unlocking the AI's long-term memory. Think of it like Jarvis's core database for this specific project. Anything you put in this file, Claude remembers it forever. And that's what makes these complex, multi-step projects even possible. It's a game changer. So our project now has a permanent memory. It's time for the really, really exciting part, deploying our very own specialized AI assistant using the /agents command. This is how we build our Iron Legion.
And this is where the leverage you get is just, it's insane. On the left, that's where we write a simple 3-sentence prompt. And on the right, that's what Claude builds in response. A complete, expert-level playbook for your AI agent, with detailed rules for everything from how to structure a hook to the right tone for a call to action.
It's almost hard to wrap your head around, right? You give it a few lines of plain, simple English, and it just constructs an entire operational system for an expert AI assistant. That's the kind of power you're unlocking here.
But hold on, it gets even better, because you don't have to just use one agent at a time. You can actually chain them together to create an AI assembly line. So the output from your research agent can automatically feed into a storytelling agent, which then passes its work on to an analyst agent, and then finally to a scriptwriter agent for the finished product. It's all automated.
And here's why this is so smart and so efficient. Think of tokens as the AI's short-term memory. In this system, each agent gets its own massive 200,000 token window to work with. You can see on the chart how the agents are doing all the heavy lifting, using up most of the memory, while your main chat stays light and responsive. This is how you can run these really complex tasks without the whole system just getting bogged down.
And the final result you get from this automated assembly line is, well, it's just stunning. It's not just a script. The agents put together an emotional arc for the viewer, they added retention hooks, they included visual notes for an editor, and even suggested title and thumbnail ideas. It went so far beyond the initial request, all on its own. So, we just built a full-blown AI army that can research, remember, and write. And it seems really complex, but when you boil it all down, it all just came from 3 magic commands. Let's do a quick recap of what they are. Here they are, the big 3. Init gives Jarvis that permanent memory. Agents is how you build your Iron Legion of specialized AIs. And that little @ symbol, that lets you target specific files, basically aiming your mission with perfect precision. These 3 commands, they are the keys to the kingdom.
You know, by understanding the system, you're not just learning some new tool, you're fundamentally changing how you can work. This is a real glimpse into a future where your productivity isn't limited by your own time, but by your ability to direct these powerful AI systems. Mastering this now puts you so far ahead of the curve, totally prepared for a new way of creating and solving problems.
So now you have the blueprint, you understand the protocols, and you know how to build the suits. The only question left is, what are you gonna build first?